Welcome back to episode 2 of the Stanley Parable. This is the same day as episode 1, just uploaded on a different day. Let's see. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone.
So maybe this time I'll listen to him.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Last time when
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay. Let's go to the meeting. How about that?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I entered the one on my left. Let's go. Okay.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
You're right.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay. I'm in my boss's office. Executive bathroom. Okay, I'm in my boss's office.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him.
Oh, really?
And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number.
I wish I knew that PIN number.
2845.
845.
But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
5.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Okay, I guess I did. Now what did I do? Did I go right? I mean, did I go right? No. Okay, I guess the only way is left. That way's a dead end. Oh, I thought that was blood on the wall. It's a shadow. All right, loading. I love when it loads. It means something different's happened.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
So this whole time I've been mind controlled. Okay. That explains why I didn't want to listen to anything he was saying.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Let's find out. Well, I guess I have to hit this button.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed.
What is my
Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant
the
nothing.
red text over there? No?
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true.
7?
Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Alright, let's go up.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Blind. Right when I looked at the freaking light. Okay.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad
The
or
home button.
content, walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and
button turns it
commanded
back
from
on,
this very
maybe?
place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
Big red button.
For
I
he
want to push it.
would dismantle the
That's what I need
controls
to do.
once and for all.
That's not the big red button. Wow. It's always the big red button that you have to push. And this time, it's not the big red button. Fine, let's go in here. Awaiting input for mind control. Let's turn it on.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you?
Yes, yes
After
I
they
did.
kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you
Yes.
try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control?
No, I didn't want control. I wanted to be
Stanley,
controlled.
I
want
applaud your
control.
effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do.
Okay.
You were supposed to let it go.
Let
Turn
it
the
go.
controls off and
Turn
leave.
it off.
If you want to throw my
Turn
story
around
off
and
track,
leave the
you're going to have to
room.
do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system.
What?
In the event that this machine is activated without
run,
proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode,
I don't like
eliminating
explosions.
the entire complex. How
Run.
long until detonation then?
Run.
Let's say 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley?
need to be here?
It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape
story?
it to your heart's desires. Oh,
Okay.
this is much better than what I had in
Stanley
mind.
went
What a shame we have
upstairs.
so little time left to enjoy
Oh,
it.
Stanley
Mere
saw a
moments
door
until
and
the
went
bomb
back
goes
downstairs.
off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk.
Stanley
about
walked
you,
through the door.
about
No,
me,
he did not.
where we're
He did
going,
not walk through
what
the
all
door.
this means. I barely know
He
where
went
to start.
back upstairs because said
What's
door
that?
shut.
You'd like to know where your co-workers are. A moment of solace before you're obliterated. All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway.
4. I
I'll
like
tell
the
you
number
exactly
4.
what happened to them.
I've always liked
I
the number
erased
4.
them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this
free,
instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying
Okay,
alone.
can't hit that button.
Other times,
Oh,
I let
3.
the office
I
sink
like
into the
3.
ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this.
There's
though,
another one.
This version of events has been rather
5.
amusing.
Okay, let's hit
Watching you
5.
try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it
Can I hit
go.
this red button now?
But I'm
Yes!
sure whatever
I did the-
come up
I
with
hit the
on
red button.
next go around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put
Buttons.
some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees.
No, time's
Dear
free.
me, what's the
2.
matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no
think I've already
idea
pushed
where
2.
you're going or what
1?
you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button. Or this
I did that.
door.
I pushed the big
Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is?
What if I hit the off button? I wonder if that'll turn the bomb off if it turned it on.
You're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To
You're
see
right.
you made humble.
You're right, that makes sense.
This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted
Yes.
to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't.
427, that was my number.
Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left
Yes,
to struggle.
30 seconds.
30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing.
30
No
seconds
ending.
until I'm
Just
dead.
you being blown to pieces.
You're right.
Will you cling desperately to your frail life? or will you let it go peacefully? Another
I will not
choice.
let it go.
Make it count. Or don't.
Since that
It's all
Disney
the
movie,
same
I just
to me.
couldn't
All
let it
part
go.
of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life
What's this
from the
blue one do?
moment we fade in until the moment
Great.
I say happily ever after.
None of these buttons. Oh! What? Oh, sorry. My air conditioner kicked off at the same time and I thought my power just cut off. Apparently that was the end, so let's stay tuned for episode 3. Welcome back to episode 3 of the Stanley Parable. This time I'm going to go through and just take whatever choices I feel are right. Okay. So this time there's no pressure into saying no to everything or saying yes to everything. I can just say yes to some things, no to some
Wait,
other things.
Stanley thought to himself. Am I sure that the orders stopped coming in? How is that possible? They never stopped.
Wait a minute.
Surely I was mistaken.
This is still episode 3! Okay. This is still episode 3. Alright. We're gonna keep going. See if I can turn off all the computers or something. See, it keeps saying the end is never the end, but that's usually whenever the game ends. But this time, it's not the end. Input received. How did you receive an input? I meant to turn you off. That means there has to be something. Okay, well, if that's the only input it can receive. Can't believe it's not the end.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay, so I guess I still have to listen to the guy if it's not really the end.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might
But I've
find
already
an
done
answer there.
Broom closet! Woo!
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
No, I didn't. Wrench. Tape. What is that?
There was
Thermometer.
nothing here. No choice to make,
Wrench.
no path to follow,
Plier.
just an empty broom closet.
Laser
no
gun?
reason to still be here.
What is that, like a hose or something? I don't know. I think that's a garden hose.
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the
that's
broom
another
closet.
wrench of
He
a
wasn't
different
even
kind.
doing anything. At least if there was something to interact
Spool
with,
of wire,
he'd be justified in
monkey
some
wrench,
way. As it is,
more duct tape,
he's literally just
more
standing
duct tape,
there doing sweet FA.
wire cutters. Here's a, well, it looks like another
Are
blood
you
thermometer.
really still in
there.
the broom closet? Standing
There's
around
a
doing
broom.
nothing?
Yes, I'm
Why?
doing nothing.
Please offer me some explanation
mop.
here. I'm genuinely
There's a
confused.
cardboard box. Let's follow this. Goes underneath, back around. Oh,
You do
cuts through
realize
the
there's
leg.
no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever.
Oh, yeah, it is.
I never would have thought to mention it.
there's another cardboard box there. Oh,
Maybe
really
to
see
you
anything
this is
else?
somehow its own branching
There's a light
path.
bulb.
Maybe
Hey.
when you go talk about this with your friends, you'll say, "Oh,
Pipe.
did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favorite." I hope your friends find this
Some more
concerning.
power lines.
Stanley was fat and ugly and really stupid.
That
He
was
probably
uncalled
only
for.
got the job because of a family connection. That's how
Wow.
stupid he is. That
Okay.
or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and
Oh.
hookers.
Oh, am I? This guy slips and falls.
Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to
I
this
am?
broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system
That
and
would
you
make
collapsed
sense.
on the keyboard.
And that's why I
Well, in a
can't get help.
situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. He or she has fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities.
Yes, I have.
It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species.
Right.
Please remove their corpse from the area
Right.
and instruct another human to take their place
Yeah, I'm
at
dead.
the computer,
That makes
making
sense.
sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming.
No,
so
no
that
one
the
does.
irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right.
Nope.
When you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
When I've done what, step out into the hallway? When I've died? I mean, I'm already dead. I mean, all you have to do is clear my body and get someone to play for me, which clearly no one will. No one really cares about video games. I think that's all he's gonna say. Why is that flat? That's flat. That should be 3D. Why is it flat? Okay, fine, I give up.
Ah, second player. It's good to have you on board.
Second.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could
What
it
was
mean?
code 2?
Stanley wondered aloud to
Something?
nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss
Below
had
my
assigned
feet.
it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input
not
the
below my
correct
feet.
code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
It's not new either. None of this is new. Just the dialogue. The dialogue's changed, that's it. Loading right on time. Alright, let's continue.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Well, I guess I did, didn't I? I mean, I have to follow the same thing I did last
The
time.
lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building,
Right.
Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
You're right. Freedom means nothing.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
9427, I think. I think that was my number. Oh, the elevator's down.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never.
Never.
It was unthinkable.
It was unthinkable.
Wasn't it? Was it even
was,
possible?
wasn't
Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery...
Where am I?
blackness, and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over?
Probably not. It looks like I'm in, like, jail or something.
Yes.
What is that?
He had won. He had defeated the machine.
I have?
Unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away.
Okay.
And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone?
You're right.
How had he been freed from the machine's grasp?
Right.
What other mysteries did this strange
But you freed
building
me. You
hold?
said you did.
But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but
Tree.
happiness. Perhaps
Tree.
his goal had not been to understand,
Power.
but
Bird.
to let go.
House.
No longer would anyone tell
Power.
him where to go, what to do, or how to
Sky.
feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his.
Wall.
And that was all
Dirt.
he needed to know.
Cobble.
It was perhaps
Grass.
the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
You know, Stanley tried, and then Stanley was...
Stanley
there we
felt
go.
the cool breeze upon his skin, the
Yes, I
feeling
did.
of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him.
Right?
This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Oh, good. I like when Stanley's happy.